The AEW Review Live, it's Dynamite. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the AEW Dynamite Review. Yeah, baby. We got Slim Shady, Rusev in the house. Let me tell you, the real Slim Shady. Snoop Dogg, AEW, baby. Look at this. What a show that's going to be.
You ridiculous piece of shit.
What's up to the chat? Shout out to all my homies. I don't have any homies. I'm kidding. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the AEW Review. AEW Dynamite, September 9th, 2020. We're live after AEW. Thank God it wasn't bad like last week. Lots to get to on this one tonight, which is very thankful of that.
Really? You think it wasn't as bad as last week?
No. Good God.
Really? I thought it was a pretty piss poor night. I thought tonight was pretty boring.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Are you serious? Like after last week?
Especially after last week. Coming after All Out. I know they got to build up some new feuds, but what did we get, really? Nothing.
Well,
the addition of mid-card Miro doesn't excite me, sadly.
Well, I mean, let me know what he does in the next 5 months, and we'll probably go back.
We'll give him a chance. We're always going to give him a chance, but I just don't have they don't have a great running track record. We'll see what happens with. Well,
I'm just saying that is a potential for us to be, for all of us in 6 months to be like, well, that was his best moment when he showed up and said, "Kiss the brass rings at I'm gonna."
It's just another one of those fuck Vince McMahon and WWE promos that we've heard time and time again.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, how many "screw the man" have we heard?
That's what people do every time they leave me.
Can't they come up with anything a little bit more original? Or
somebody leaves Joe Cronin, they bash me.
It's like a bingo board. We could have claimed, he said brass ring. It's like we knew that this was. It's so typical and atypical and formulaic.
Wow, I mean,
and then what he said as well. Oh, you see me destroying people, day in, day out. We haven't seen you do a damn thing in months. And the only thing we did see was from another company. You haven't done anything in this company. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was
You're
a little
making
weird.
No sense. You are retarded. You are legit fucking retarded. You blonde Slim Shady lookalike. What are you doing?
Wow.
You came there to plug your Twitch channel. That's it. And because they're so petty, AEW is so damn petty that they have to go ahead and be like, oh, WWE won't, but we will, so Twitch is okay, that they're forcing Kip Sabian out there to waste more time just so he can plug his Twitch channel.
Maybe that.
What was the point? How is this
is he
any
signed?
better than last week?
Is he not signed or something?
I have no idea.
You think this was like just like an appearance thing? Like he's going to show up a few times and they paid him money as long as he could shout out his Twitch?
I guess, because why would they not have him be the Joker card for the Battle Royal the other day?
Because it was predictable.
But at least then it would have made more sense, no? Actually give him a fighting chance?
Maybe, but
what kind of fanfare did he get by walking out tonight in another wedding segment, another wedding, that he's going to be involved in?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. He's
going to be the best man of another wedding scenario. Fantastic, Rusev. You've done wonders. 250,000
people saw Saturday night. Tonight, probably 800,000 people saw it. So that's probably that and the predictability, I think, is why they changed it. I'm shocked too, but I'm like you guys. Some of you guys. I'm a sucker. I was excited to see him and hear him go, "Fuck you, brass ring." I actually fell for it, and I liked it. But here's the thing. Again, you're right, because even though I did like it, there's the other part of me that goes, "Yeah, but that's kind of weird. Another shit on WWE." But in 6 months, are we all going to be sitting here being like, "That was the most exciting thing he did"? Are we going to be doing that?
That's probably what it's going to be.
Let's remember this moment come December, or January, and February.
I bet you by October. Give it a month.
By October.
By October, he's already dead in the water. 3 weeks. 3 full weeks of him being booked. He'll lose, and he'll fall to the wayside after the Kip Sabian wedding.
I didn't even catch that part, to be honest. He's going to be involved in a wedding angle.
Mean, yeah.
Oh my God, no.
You can call me a fat slob. You can come here and say that,
I didn't call you
crazy.
that.
I didn't say you did. I'm talking to the chat. You could say that I'm crazy or that I'm, on my period. But honestly, what was entertaining about tonight?
Well,
what was there to enjoy?
Wait a minute. So you're telling
me the high points.
Wait, this was worse than last week? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think it was worse. I think it was just as bad.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I'm like,
I think it was just as bad.
I can tell you why it was.
They marched Matt Hardy out there to be a freaking press junket for Tony Khan.
Yeah, dude, it was a fucking...
How can anyone defend those actions?
It was damage control.
They marched Matt Hardy out there with his wife so that he must have gotten in trouble for Rebby. I guarantee it. I bet my balls on it.
Here's what I tweeted. Matt Hardy, damage control. I loved it.
Exactly. I haven't even been on Twitter, and I guarantee you and I are thinking the same damn thing.
Can I play?
They sent him out there, Tony Khan, after getting so much shit. And Matt didn't say, I don't have a concussion. He didn't utter those words once. He admitted he wasn't medically cleared to compete. He's going to work on getting better. And when he is better, then he'll return to eventually try and get the title.
Let me play devil's advocate. I think it's also possible that they brought him out there for, number one, the ratings, number two, to make sure the fans know he's okay, but also to make you think he was going to retire. And that could be the reason why Rebby Hardy was in the crowd. So you were watching this segment like, oh my God, he's going to retire. And then he says, I'm not done yet. And it was a swerve. So the devil's advocate, who isn't here right now, because I'm agreeing with you, and because I tweeted this too, but the devil's advocate, if he was here, would say, nah, dude, they were trying to make you think, oh, my God, he's going to retire. And they even had Rebby there to make it seem like, oh, my God, she's there because he's about to retire and everything and all this stuff for support. Because otherwise, why is she there then? But we just said maybe why. So those are the...
It's just to make her look like she's in line with the company.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But she don't do that shit. So that's the thing is...
Well, God knows what ultimatum or shit came down.
But see, I could see him just being like, Rebby, you got to be there because then people will think I'm going to retire. It'll be like a good moment.
I'm sure that could be absolutely part of it.
It was one of their selling segments for tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate it's about ratings and it's about getting eyes on the TV.
And their biggest thing was, pulling Matt out there to be like, don't yell at Tony. He can't take it.
But yeah, but definitely there was a part of me. There was a part of me that believed that, okay, this was a fake you out retirement thing, but also doubled as, hey, I'm okay, guys. Thanks for the love. So it doubled as both those things. But then there's the cynical side of me, which is what you just said, that thinks, wow, this was fucking... and I tweeted it, damage control Hardy, like, oh, here I am, Tony's a good guy, and it was just funny, but yeah, so I couldn't help but think that, so I don't know which one of those is the answer, or if it's a little bit of both. I don't know if it's all of those things. I'm not really sure, but it definitely was weird, but what I can tell you is the opening to AEW tonight was hilarious. That was the best opening, maybe one of the best openings of any show all year long. Like top three
with MJF and Jericho.
Yes,
yeah, that was great. I even said that the spaz right off the bat. That was funny as hell.
It was like two Stiflers talking to each other, and they were like, "Yeah, man, you were great. I love you." What an idiot! Like that's Stifler, bro. That was like some American Pie Stifler action, and that cracked me the fuck up, dude. And here's the thing about that. That set the tone for the show. Now the tone started to wear off after an hour for me, but that set the tone that I was in a funny, happy mood right after that because I was like, that was fucking awesome. Because I went back and watched it like 7 more times laughing at their reactions. Like, it was really funny. Like, MJF was funny, but for some reason, I don't know why, but Jericho's, like, weird stare of I'm the shit and what an idiot. Like, I don't know why, dude. It was funny and MJF was great. But when I looked to the left and saw Jericho being like, I don't know why, dude. I just fucking started losing.
Well, the way they both built each other up, too, just to tear each other down so quickly as soon as they were out of earshot. That chicken shit, cowardly, it was great.
The point of me saying that is that was better than any segment last week.
But that was more character development than all of NXT had last night in a matter of 1 minute for a cold open.
Dude, I would give, if there were an award show for best opening segment of the year, that's in the top 3 to 5 somewhere. It might be the top segment. I don't know. That's the top thing that made me go, oh my God, this show tonight.
Because it showed their egos because they both lost, yet they still view themselves as, legit in the top, contenders, and how they really tried to build each other up. It was hilarious. It was great.
Right. And so listen.
So perfect.
I don't know what we gave AEW last week. I gave AEW the lowest rating ever. My lowest AEW rating ever came last week, and I think it was a 5. So last week was the worst rating I ever gave AEW. Tonight, I can't say the same. Because I think tonight was at least maybe a 6. I don't think it was, because the opening thing was hilarious. MJF's promo later was good. Jericho's stuff was all right later, nothing crazy. And then they made their intentions about the tag team division clear, which I don't know how that's going to work because the FTR is such heels. These two guys are heels too, unless Jericho and Hager are going to maybe flip to these weird face goofs.
I don't think they'll do. I bet you they'll just kind of keep them as the FTR will be like that pseudo heel where they kind of keep going back and forth. Because they've been somewhat faces, but more heels than not. But they're not officially heels, so it's interesting but odd at the same time.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but this stuff is all pretty good. I thought the Matt Hardy anticipation was exciting. He came out though, and he kind of just discombobulated. I didn't know.
His eyes are unfocused. His eyes were bouncing around. I mean, the same way I can't focus mine at times. It's the same damn look. He obviously admitted to being concussed there, so Rebby was right, and that means Tony Khan lied. That's what we learned from that promo.
Well, I don't think Tony Khan lied. I think that the hospital didn't find a concussion, but the guy got concussed. A concussion doesn't show up you go to the hospital hours later. They look at you and they go, yeah, you don't look like you have anything wrong with you at all.
Oh, I'm not saying it can't develop later, but I'm guaranteeing he has a severe concussion.
No, I mean...
And if he's not cleared by the doctors, then they had to have found something. He said himself he wasn't cleared to compete. He said the doctors didn't clear me. In that promo tonight, so...
Well, then the hospital's lying. Because
we don't have the hospital saying this. The only people that spoke up so far is his wife and Tony Khan.
I believe that somebody reached out to the hospital can't disclose information. I thought
exactly the hospital is that they'd be violating HIPAA.
I thought
Tony's the only one that said anything. That's it. And then people reported on what Tony said in the media press junket following
Are you sure,
All Out
though?
And his tweet. I'm positive. I read his tweet.
No, I know that, but are you sure that? I mean, if I was Tony Khan after what happened at All Out, I would say, dude, take 2 weeks off. That's what I would say. It doesn't matter if he has a concussion, not has a concussion, whatever.
I would have given time off regardless, just for the injury. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So he may not have a concussion right now. You're saying he actively has you're saying he has post concussion syndrome is what you're saying.
I'm saying he had an active concussion. Yes.
No, you're saying he has he has post concussion syndrome. You don't carry.
Yeah, or else they wouldn't clear him. Yeah, absolutely.
But how he's not? There's no. That could be kayfabe that he's not cleared. Do you know what I'm saying? He could.
I don't believe it's kayfabe.
He fell off this thing. He hit his head. He clearly got a concussion. He went to the hospital. The hospital said you don't have a concussion, even though he did get one. They're saying now you're fine. You don't have a concussion. The doctor in the back cleared him. And now I'm Tony Khan. I say, listen, Matt, dude, take 2 weeks off after that. As a precaution. Let's just take 2 weeks off. Whatever. And then Matt goes out there, says, I'm not cleared to wrestle. It's all part of the story there. So does he right now have a concussion? I don't think so. Because the doctors wouldn't have said, no, you don't have a concussion. And the doctors in the back wouldn't have said, no, you don't have a concussion. Unless they're covering something up that we don't know about. But that would be really bizarre to lie about your doctors and say, well, our doctors approved him, but we're really making that up. Our doctors didn't approve him. And then he went to the hospital and they kind of made it up too. And we're going to say that, you know what I mean? That would be, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just say, you got a concussion? So, like, in my opinion,
because I think that he originally said he doesn't have a concussion, maybe without knowing for sure, or maybe not having the entire story, or like you said, didn't show yet, and then the concussion shows a few days later, and now they can't clear him.
Put it this way: when I got kneed in the head by Flip Gordon's uncle, I got kneed in the head in ice hockey. My head went boom, and it snapped back like a fucking goddamn spring bobblehead. And everybody on the bench said the same thing, because I tried to start playing again. I stood up and was like, oh, let's go. And I started like slipping and falling. And then I tried to skate after the puck and just fell. And I fell again. And the guys were like, dude, get off the ice. And I was escorted off the ice by several players and had to be carried over the boards to sit down on the bench. And then the people next to me were like, dude, are you okay? That was the most horrific hit I've ever seen on somebody. Like, I can't believe your head's on your body. And I said, really? And they're like, yeah, maybe you should like go get looked at or whatever. Like, yeah, you were out for a second. And I was like, I mean, I didn't feel out. And they were like, yeah, you don't look like you. And then I stumbled away and I went to the hospital. I went right to the goddamn ER. And when I got to the hospital, after a while, they examined me and they went, you look all right to us. It looks like you probably just got your bell wrong or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then they go, okay, well, let's do a CT scan for precautionary, whatever. They found nothing. And they go, you're fine. You just got hit hard, and keep an eye on this and that and take it easy for the next couple weeks. And then I had post-concussion syndrome for 7 months where I couldn't stand bright lights and I didn't want to be around anybody, and I couldn't exercise at all. And I've still got that neck pressure issue that you used to coach me on, because you had such a serious version of that I didn't have it. I didn't have a Chiari type of thing, but I had the symptoms of one because probably something back there was damaged from that hit. So, what I'm saying is it's possible that you can see doctors and then be like, you look fine, and then not be fine.
I got hit head on in the car, drove myself to the doctor an hour later, was fine, and then 3 days later had concussion syndrome for 6 months.
Yeah.
So I dealt with it being on this show. I know exactly what it's like. It doesn't show up right away. That's what I'm saying. Days later, now the AEW doctors don't clear him.
Well,
but Tony Khan
we
said
don't
he didn't have a
know
concussion,
that.
So
we don't know.
That's the problem. We don't know.
That could be kayfabe, or it could be I have symptoms of post concussion. So he could have post concussion syndrome right now. That could be going on, but that's a full speculation by us. What's more likely is just that, hey, take 2 weeks off, dude. Like, we need, take it easy and come back. And then they got him on TV tonight. So he has another week off, maybe 2, but he'll be back. So it's just one of those, hey, take a vacation, man. Take it easy. I would tell, if I was the owner of AEW after that, I would have said the same thing. Dude, take 2 weeks off, even if you're fine.
Yeah, take all the time you need.
Fuck that. Yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. Go fucking relax, and we'll bring you back, and we'll do everything. We'll all be good again. And don't fly, I hope. But let me play a donation real quick. Guys, if you want to donate, the link is down below, Streamlabs. That would really help the show out, and we will play the donations. You can super chat down below as well using the super chat function, and let us know, what do you guys think? Is he really hurt? Is he not hurt? Should he be there? Should he not be there? What do you think of AEW tonight? Let's go ahead and play the first one here.
What else we got? Oh,
it's bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
The best man. Come on, feel the noise. Show was decent. Jake DeConnett in Connecticut didn't like the show. I know you're shitting on this, bro. Joe, enough secrets, just release the Tommy sex tapes already.
The Tommy sex tapes. They could be really good sex tapes. I'll release those when but look at Rusev, Eminem. So, at this point, in my opinion, I'm having a pretty good time with the show. The opening was fun. The Jericho stuff was decent. Matt Hardy's segment was interesting, but it really didn't tell us too much, and it was just nice to see fans cheer for him. But it felt like a total, like you said, like I tweeted out, whatever it was, damage control. It felt like weird damage control. Whether they meant it to be damage control or not, it just felt like it, but whatever. And then Jake the Snake Roberts cuts what I believe was a really nice promo, a decent promo for the Murder Hawk. And I said, man, Jake Roberts, good job, Jake. I love it. And the Murder Hawk is standing behind him, and I thought to myself, that's funny, because they never know what they want to do. If Jake Roberts speaks for him, Jake Roberts is a star, and the Murder Hawk just seems like he can't talk. But then the Murder Hawk talked and ruined the whole thing to me. The guy doesn't seem threatening. He seems like a goof. He seems like the type of guy who wears a flaming T-shirt, like a button-up flames, short sleeve shirt with a wallet chain, and he has a bike that he's trying to fix up, but he doesn't fix it the right way. And he listens to like Power Man 5000, and he likes baseball stats. That's what the Murder Hawk reminds me of. And he's trying to play like bad guy and scary mean guy, but it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like Brody Lee kind of seems like he might hurt somebody. The Murder Hawk feels like he wants to play fucking Pirates of the Caribbean with his cousins. And he goes, everybody's gonna die or whatever. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all.
And,
Jake
can I
Roberts.
interrupt really quick? Because just really fast, I apologize. Not the most professional, but I went back and re-listened to Matt Hardy's speech, and he directly 100% says, when I'm cleared to compete, he utters those words.
Right.
So people in the chat saying that I'm totally wrong. I even just went and re-listened to it. He says
well,
it.
I'm not denying he said it. I was
no, but there's people saying like I'm dead wrong and crazy. He said, when I'm cleared to compete.
Oh.
When I'm cleared to compete. He says I'm not cleared to compete in his own words. I'm not wrong this time.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think you're wrong.
Sorry.
I think it's kayfabe, though. I don't think I'm not sure he
I didn't argue whether or not it could be kayfabe. I just said, said, I'm not cleared to compete.
Yeah, no,
I even agreed with
know,
you. I said it might be kayfabe. We don't know.
Yeah, no, he definitely
but
said it.
But they still paraded him out there to be like, don't be mad at Tony Khan. There's no way you can't tell me otherwise because Tony can't take criticism.
I think it is damage control for Tony. Partial. I think it's all of it. I think Matt, but I would have done it too if I was Matt. I would have said, Tony, I got to go out there, man. I got to explain why I'm going to be off. I got to make everyone realize I'm okay. I got to make sure, you stop getting shit on for this, and we got to clear everything up, But it was weird that Tony, but it's a bad business move that Tony was the first one to announce this, and he announced it at All Out in the back, and he almost announced it frantically, like, and it's going to be okay, and Matt's going to be here Wednesday to address the crowd, Matt's going to be here. Like, relax, dude. It's okay. You sent the guy out there. You made kind of a weird decision. Many horrible decisions have been made by Vince McMahon.
It is a pretty egregious fuck up, but guess what? Now you never let this happen again. You learn from it. That's the thing that people want to see. You grow from things. Yeah,
I grow from things all the time. Some of them were the women that
I know you grow.
But speaking
You're a grower,
of
not a shower, but hey.
Speaking of this sort of SJW type of stuff, there was another guy who was very upset with some of the things that he heard on AEW tonight, and that was Sean, the SJW. He took to Twitter, and we have his tweet, his anger towards AEW and Jim Ross for his sexualized comments and the racistness of AEW. This is unbelievable. What another Antifa asshole.
At AEW All Out, Jim Ross made a comment about hoping that a female was having a wardrobe malfunction. Because he's a misogynist, old, racist piece of shit! Tonight, on AEW, Matt Hardy, a guy from North Carolina, where lots of racists are from, he said he called 2 black men boys tonight! That is unacceptable! It's unacceptable! You called them boys! You piece of shit, Matt Hardy! You need to be fired! You need to be fired! And Tony Khan let him wrestle after he hit his head. He should lose his company! And Matt Hardy should be fired! For calling black men boys! Do you know what boy means? I should come down here fucking, I want to kill a Nazi! I'm gonna bash a Nazi! You fucking Matt Hardy's a Nazi! And then later on, Excalibur who hides behind a mask, who once said the N-word, called the wrestler the N-word, He said Negro! He said Negro! He almost said the N-word on AEW Dynamite! Excalibur! You say, oh, that's the word for black. That's the word for black. I bet it is racist! Racist! I will call you out on this every week until justice is served. AEW, you're all scumbags. SJW, I'm an SJW. And that means I'm a social justice warrior. That's not a bad thing. See, that's a good thing.
It's DDP. And he would go on and on like an idiot. And
my God, Sean, jeez.
I don't know.
He's got some pent-up frustration there. I thought I was angry.
I hope he tries to hit one of the right-wing guys with a skateboard, and then he gets his feet blown off or something.
He's not happy about boys, though, huh?
He's very angry about the boy comment from...
My God.
What a sicko. Like, quite honestly, you're a sicko, Sean, you stupid SJW idiot. Like, I mean, we got enough of you guys out there.
Super chat. Super chat.
Joe didn't know From 206 was on show tonight.
The Goon. What up, Goon? Yeah, Jake's in some kind of mood tonight. Somebody stole his pancakes this morning or something.
Super chat. Super chat.
I like it.
More money for Jake being a beast tonight.
The Goon. The Goon's liking it. Finally, Jake grew balls.
Goons for it.
Somebody said in the chat.
I just took him out of Courtney's purse. That's what it is.
Oh, your wife. Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want
That's
some
it.
bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I am so done with this person should go to AU when they get released from their contract because some will complain once they actually arrive to AU. Prior to COVID-19 there were other options than AU like NJPW. Not everyone has to go to AU.
Yeah, I mean, there were some people that went to Impact.
Yeah,
You know?
and some people even talking about going to New Japan. I mean, there still are viable places. It's just because of the pandemic right now that the independent scene is on, topsy-turvy on its head.
Yeah, and they're
It
giving
will get fixed when all this ends eventually. It's just a matter of when, not if.
and they're giving people like short-term like deals too, like not contracts, but a lot of people are even just getting like appearances. Like, hey, come on the show, $5,000 4 appearances each appearance. People are getting contracts like that. Like they're not even
Shit bum.
I mean, crazy.
Show my lastest video or screenshot of Eminem's biggest fan stand show up on AEW show the Wrestle Daily after you do.
Oh, baby. We are going to go take a look at that. I can't wait to see it. And if you are not following them already, you got to follow The Botch Club on Instagram, 24,000 followers. And The Wrestle Daily with over 30,000 followers. Instagram.
Club's still blowing up. They're getting bigger and bigger, more attention on Instagram. It's crazy.
And they're right in between me and Jake. We can form a sandwich between Jake, me, and Botch Club and Wrestle Daily in Rhode Island. Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts come
Shit
together
bum.
for sodomy.
Delicious.
Lamau Jake is on his bullshit tonight.
Wow.
Talk your shit, Jake, and fuck the chat. Also, Jake Roberts was thinking about snake pussy in that promo.
Yeah, he
Dot.
definitely was. He was slithering. He was a horny bastard.
The first thing he said was wet. He was
Last
like,
week it was about nuts, getting people's nuts and letting your nuts explode. This week it's, oh my God, he's all about being just nasty.
Can we also talk about JR during the end of Sonny Kiss's match? He said he referred to how Sonny Kiss wrestled as stiff, a firm man, and he also said something else that I don't remember now, but it was stiff and firm manhandled. And then after that, Sonny Kiss got the fire extinguisher to the face. And the best thing about Sonny Kiss is, normally when someone gets a fire extinguisher to the face, they're like, oh. But Sonny Kiss is gay, which is fine. But Sonny Kiss got the fire extinguisher, and Sonny Kiss came out of the extinguisher like this. Dude, I don't know if I was the only one, but I started roaring. I was dying, dude, because I've seen it a lot of times where someone gets sprayed with a fire extinguisher and they're like, oh, or they're like, oh God, my eyes. Sonny Kiss comes out like this. You gotta watch it. I'm telling you, Sonny
At first,
Kiss.
Danny doesn't watch AEW hardly ever, so she sees it and she goes, "Oh, they allow intergender matches," and I'm like, "No, that's a guy." And she's like, "His butt." I'm like,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I watched Sonny Kiss, and I'm like, dude, I'd fuck Sonny Kiss. That's hot. I love Sonny Kiss. I think Sonny Kiss would think that's funny too. I think he doesn't mind being called a she now, so that's okay. Although they did go back to calling Sonny Kiss he tonight, but I don't know if it matters. Sonny Kiss said it doesn't matter, and honestly, I call him both.
It doesn't matter, but I think that was just an unintentional slip.
I call them both. I can't help it. Sometimes when I'm watching Sonny Kiss, I go, "Oh my God, she did that," and then I go, "Oh, I said she," and then other times I go, "He should go over there," and I'm like, now I'm calling him a he. What the fuck is going on? I've never.
The way my straight ass looks at it is that you're trying to be effeminate. So if you were being called she, I would take it as a compliment.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, no, that's what it is. It's not. We're not. It's not to be insulting.
It's not an insult. No, not at all.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know what to say. And Sonny Kiss agrees. Sonny Kiss said like either one is fine with me. I like the being called she, so it's okay. And I'm like, that is so different. Like I haven't heard of that before. But I keep coming back to this because I actually feel the same. I want to call Sonny Kiss both because I don't know, because sometimes when Sonny Kiss is being super feminine, I'm like she. I say she. But then other times when I see Sonny Kiss like more like direct, I call Sonny Kiss he. And I don't. It's almost like my brain adjusts like for what. It's weird. It's the only person that I've ever done that with. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. But at least Sonny Kiss is self-aware of it and goes, yeah. I can see that. And I'm like, okay, cool, because I feel bad. I don't want to fucking, I don't give a shit about what people think, but
Sonny sees the connection being made. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like I'm telling you, bro. I'll take Sonny Kiss to the goddamn to the hotel room.
Gorilla Strong's right. Even Jim Cornette said Sonny's ass sticks out 2 feet behind her.
Yeah.
He complimented on Sonny's derriere.
See?
So.
Even Cornette's going to do it. You put a wig on Sonny Kiss? I'm leaving Leah.
That's it.
Let's just,
You got your chocolate kiss. You're out.
And I do understand some of the criticism, though, of Sonny Kiss's sort of like charismatic gymnastics in the ring. That kind of like bothers some people. And it, a little bit with me, too. A little bit too much like, oh, I did this flip and then split kick thing that's stupid. I understand. But I do like that Sonny Kiss has a character in the ring, that Sonny Kiss has his own way of moving around and whatever. I like a diverse, this isn't about color, race, or anything like, but I mean diverse wrestling style. Like I like the different types of wrestling styles. I think Sonny is a little bit too soft. Like be a little bit more vicious, although sometimes he is. Like there was that stiff elbow that JR said. But I can see how some people criticize, like, oh God, like, Sonny Kiss kind of like wrestles like Alexa Bliss, but but is Sonny Kiss. I don't know. It was a little more serious, a little more rough instead of some of the cartwheel stuff, and I would like him better. But I still like Sonny Kiss. It's just I would take it a little more seriously, and I will take you more seriously. And that's what I think I would do with Sonny Kiss. So the first hour tonight, I thought the first hour was nice. It was like a 7 or a 6. I thought the second hour was like a 5. So what else do we want to talk about? What else do you think about tonight?
Here's the thing that also got me. I thought the Young Bucks teamed with Jurassic Express. So whoever won that match would go on to face each other. They did that at All Out. So then we had Jurassic Express lose to the Young Bucks. So now the Young Bucks were supposed to be the number 1 contenders for the tag titles. But now they're saying Jurassic Express is going to fight FTR for the tag titles if they win the next match. So I was just confused as to why they're kind of jumping the gun on the Young Bucks when they set up that story just to, is it just a time killer? I don't know. I feel like having Jurassic Express losing these high profile matches like that, you're going to run out with them. They're going to lose their stock.
And this was one of those like makeup matches tonight, right? Like, because they tweeted out like, oh, we were supposed to have this match in our debut match, and we didn't get to have it, so we had it tonight.
Oh, really? Yeah. See,
that's what they were saying about the Lucha Bros. Because remember, somebody got hurt. I think it was Luchasaurus got hurt.
Yes, I think you might be right.
So maybe, but they did have the match though, didn't they? They had Scudero instead though. Didn't they
I
replace?
believe-
I thought they did have the match, but Marco Scudero took over.
I don't remember what happened at noon today, but
And then we said, well, right. Well, this was like the second or third episode of Dynamite ever.
Yeah, this is October of last year, but still, not a bad match from these two. It's just that I'm tired of all of the will they, won't they break up storylines. You know,
Right.
leave that reserved for what you were doing with Hangman and Omega, having Eddie have to come in and constantly be like, "We're family, we're friends, we're family, we're road partners, we're the best mates. Come on, get your head in the game." This is like the third or fourth time I think I've heard him make this speech. I feel like where he's been like, "Guys, we need to work together. We could be Chag champions.
Yeah.
We could be elite. We could be everything. We just got to work together." And then they fight.
I don't understand the Eddie Kingston stuff. This guy is a star on the microphone, captivating guy, kind of like him on about everything, and I think he's being wasted as Mr. Coach. I don't know why he's playing Mr. Coach.
He
I feel
could
like
be what MVP is being for the Hurt Business on a whole more sadistic level. I think he could be the true threat because he can wrestle. He's great on the mic. I think
I thought he was going to be
with him.
But didn't you think he was going to be Lone Wolf, who like kind of?
I thought he was going to be on his own, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind him being in this role because he presented himself so well. It was really believable. So I was like, okay, let's see where it goes, and maybe he's going to make these guys into stars. And they've been losing and they've been fighting with each other. So his addition has been pretty a moot point, pretty useless.
Yeah,
I don't really see, he's not benefiting them at all, and they're not benefiting him. So, and there was quite a few botches in the tag match too. I mean, the finish was solid, but besides that, I don't know. We'll see what happens with FTR. I'm just not thrilled. We know FTR aren't going to drop the belts yet. It's going to be a while for that to happen with the story they're going with. So, I don't know. They got to be careful about blowing through every other tag team in the meantime.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, they're gonna have to start. It's too bad because I know a lot of people with AEW. They're like, oh, there's too many tag matches, and there's been a little bit of that. But in order to build this back up, they're gonna have to have at least 2 a week. It sounds like if they're gonna start, because they've got the champions, and now we've got a bunch of groups who are talking about wanting those titles. I mean, now here's the thing. Are we going to get single tag team matches so that people can move up in the rankings? Or is AEW going to go the sort of what I would call the easy way, the route that I don't want them to go, which is a tournament? Because they keep doing that. Tournament. But it's like, no, man, like a team should get on a roll, be ranked, and then have to face another team who is close to them and thinks they're the best, and then somebody's got to win and go on and then face the champions and have that classic build-up instead of always it being like, oh, tournament, and whoever wins the tournament. It's like, I like tournaments once in a while, no doubt, but I think there's been a little too much tournament stuff. So hopefully this time it will be more of a, who's hot right now in the tag division. Like let's talk about who's hot in the tag division for some weeks now before we get right to a challenger for the titles. Instead of that.
Instead of just rushing right to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and let it be casual. Don't, panic, and don't go right into, oh my God, 3 weeks we have a pay-per-view, we got to get right to it. And they don't have another event for they probably don't have another event for 2 months, right? Or
what do you think? November is Full Gear?
Yeah, what's it? September, October, November. Yeah, it's a ways away. So
November is Full Gear, and then on their anniversary show in 1 month is when they're going to do the 1 year anniversary. Is going to have it's going to be like a mini pay-per-view,
right?
So they're going to build up stories for then, and then after that they'll build the Full Gear. So that makes sense.
And maybe that's a little too far away for them to not have a tag, some kind of tag situation before that.
Well, if they do it in a month's time at the 1 year anniversary show, that'll be enough to do one then and then one at the Full Gear pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the midway point, so that'll break up the time in between with that anniversary show.
I just remembered that I never unblocked Jared Barron again. This poor guy.
Whoops.
Now I'm trying to go find out where he commented so I can go unblock him because I forgot again.
Note to self, I think I forget where he said.
Oh, he did say note to self. Good call. Yeah, he did. Oh, maybe he didn't. I don't see it there. Fuck. God damn it. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find him to unblock him, and I can never find it.
So the second match we had was Orange Cassidy taking on Angelico, however you want to say it with my white accent. This, you're just pulling up somebody from dark, it feels like, to get knocked out by Orange Cassidy with the orange punch for the win. Nothing of note here. It just, obviously they want Cassidy on TV, but hopefully they have a plan for him going forward. I know this was just to set up the attack and build up to Santana and Ortiz coming out and doing the beatdown for their final parking lot brawl match that they'll have against Best Friends. But that I'm sick of as well. Sorry to say, we've seen them face off so many times now. It just feels like this feud is been done and over with for weeks, but it passed its breaking point. Honestly, to me, there's no interest left here at all.
Yeah, I don't. It didn't work out that well. I mean, unfortunately, it.
So I know, complaining about Orange Cassidy's partner, opponent doesn't matter because that was not the focal point here. Really, it was the beatdown and subsequent, match being made for next week. I get that. I'm just worried that now that everything's done with Jericho, Orange Cassidy is going to fall to the wayside, and they're going to waste all the potential star power that they gained with him in this Jericho feud.
Yeah,
I think that's a legitimate concern here.
What, because of the titles?
No, I just with what titles?
The tag titles, the Jericho.
No, I'm saying they had Orange Cassidy beat Jericho.
Oh, I lost my mind because I was just reading fucking AEW just emailed me.
I
was like reading what AEW, what's AEW saying?
I didn't know what you were talking about either. Having Orange Cassidy beat Jericho twice, especially at All Out in this big, match that they had, the Mimosa Mayhem. Now, hopefully they have some semblance of a plan for him going forward. You had him beat the biggest star in the company.
Right.
Hopefully he doesn't just fall to the wayside and become Best Friend's sidekick again.
Yeah, I don't think that he probably will. I mean,
that's unfortunate because they did so much to build him up and really,
I think they could become his sidekicks, though. I really do. I think they could.
Really are his sidekicks. Sadly,
yeah.
They're the afterthought. He's the star power at this point. He's the draw of the group.
Well, I think that what he could be doing is kind of like I see it like this. You get a guy like Darby Allin right now as far as I'm concerned, is the middle mid to top mid card. Darby Allin. Have Darby Allin in these matches. He's so good. Have other guys in these top matches. And then I think Orange Cassidy is a guy who could open a show. I think Orange Cassidy is a guy who could open a show or would be good in number 2 on the show that night. And then, of course, you're going to have to resist doing all the comedy stuff with him because you're going to think about it. You're going to be like, hey, we could do this with Orange Cassidy in the back. That'd be funny. And so I don't think you can really escape it. I think the bottom line is the guy is like a middle, lower, mid-card guy, but is valuable. I think Orange Cassidy is valuable, but he's valuable in a lower, and I know that they don't like the terms mid card, lower mid card, upper tier, whatever.
Yeah,
The bottom line.
But he works as a comedy act. He's good in that commodity. He's the Hurricane Helms of AEW. Maybe with a little more seriousness to it. I suppose. I think Sneaker Addict in the chat said they pushed Orange Cassidy too hard. I mean, they might have. And I think they might have because here's why they sort of did, is because before you put the guy in the main event with the main guy in the main event thing, you would think that you'd test him out in the middle mid-card. You'd put him against somebody in the mid-card to make him get over or whatever. And then all right, well, he's not really a mid-card guy. We'll lower him down a little bit, but he's got some rub off of what happened at the mid card, but they put him right up on the top, and it was a little too much. But they tried, and they did it 3 times, and now the guy will be a regular lower mid card attraction. I think he's an attraction. I think he's a small lower mid card attraction is what he is, and that's fine. That's great because he's on the list. If you're making a 12-man video game or 12-man roster, I think he makes that cut. Like, in my opinion, maybe some of you guys wouldn't say that. You'd say, nah,
I'd rather have like Lucha Bros, Kenny Omega, these guys, and you just name all the great wrestler guys. Whereas like I'm looking at character and different styles and things you could do with somebody, that gives you that versatility. So I like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Fucking AEW. I've been trying to get more wrestlers back on the show again. It's been a while, man. I don't do a lot of interviews, but I like to do an interview every 3 months. I like to bring somebody on, and AEW gets back to me right after AEW ends, weird enough, and they go, no, we don't have anybody available ever. So AEW told me that they, no, we don't have anybody available. Well, because I reached out to Sammy Guevara and some of the other guys, and even Joey Janela. Remember, Joey Janela was going to come on forever. Joey Janela was going to come on the show. And then eventually Joey Janela said, well, the only thing is just get it approved from the office, and then I can be on. And the office said no. And then I said, okay, and Sammy Guevara said the same thing. So I emailed them about Sammy Guevara, and they said no. And so they just emailed me now and said, I said, yeah, we just want to, we're going to be doing interviews with some people, and I'm doing my rounds right now of trying to, you guys know I've had JR on the show, I've had Cody on the show, we've interviewed 50 wrestlers over the 7 years of my show. I don't like to do a lot of them, but every couple months or 6 months or 4 months or 3 months, I like to bring somebody in, bring a couple people in, and but AEW said no. I'm like, oh, you don't have anybody that you would want to promote anything? No.
we like how we are, we don't want to promote anything.
So just like WWE doesn't allow anybody anywhere, I guess now AEW doesn't. Weird. We had Thunder Rosa on the show 5 months ago.
Yeah. Not even. Wasn't that long?
It was something. It was like March.
Maybe it was. Oh,
March.
Wow. Yeah, time flies.
Brother Miro, I knew you'd come. Somebody in the chat. That's hilarious.
Super Chat Party.
Hardy promo reeked of guys. Stop bashing my boss, please. Rusev's promo was every promo an ex-WWE guy ever cut in TNA. Wear a helmet to watch this show.
Spaz Phoenix did not like the show tonight. But you know what? That being said, Spaz Phoenix, Tony Khan, they did announce it right away. They announced it at All Out. Matt Hardy will be there Wednesday to address everybody and everything, which was, again, a little spastic, a little weird, but, that was mentioned that night on All Out. So, I don't know. Alex says they have 800,000 viewers, no reason to promote. What are you, crazy? What do you mean? Alexa,
there's no reason at all to promote when we only have less than 1 million. Come on,
Alexis, is that Alexis? Is that your name? Naranaho? I'm sorry, Alexis, in the chat. You are crazy. AEW and WWE send their wrestlers to podcasts smaller than mine. They send them to
they get 20 views, and he's not crazy. He's saying that's their attitude. He can't understand saying that. He said, where is it here? They're like 800,000 viewers. No reason to promote. And he said, "Defuck, LOL."
He was being sarcastic. I'm sorry, Alex. I thought it was a female. I thought it was Alexis.
Could be.
Okay. Well, either way, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. They were saying they were actually agreeing with me with sarcasm. Yeah,
but
it's
still,
weird.
You figure they like you said, we see them picked up on channels that have nothing.
5,000 subs and they get 300 views.
I saw one the other day. It was 132 subscribers and 4 views. No idea. I was like, this has to be a re-upload, but I couldn't find it anywhere else. So
that's crazy.
Maybe it's a favor, a friend of a friend.
The weird thing is I know how to promote the news. Like I had Cody on, and the full interview didn't do as well because I put it up the next day at a bad time. But I took the excerpt from what Cody said, and it went all over the place, news everywhere, and it was good news. It's like I know how to promote people and promote the whatever they're going to say. So it's like, we conducted the interview very well. You can go listen to it. It's up on the channel. I've had Jim Ross on. I've had so many people on. Go listen to my interview with Jim Ross. Then go listen to my interview with Cody Rhodes. They're great little podcasts. They're really good. And so like why we didn't run through the whole AEW roster by now, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate AEW and Cody, man. I really love them and really appreciate the press pass. And, giving me a ticket that night and being in Boston. What a night. But shocking that we haven't had one person back on the show to talk about AEW or to whatever. But whatever. It's just typical of the wrestling business or of whatever. So, what are you going to do? But then I see guys, I'm telling you, man, like, just line up fucking wrestlers on their channels with like 80 views. And because they don't title it right, they don't promote it right, nothing. And I'm like, what are these people doing? This guy just took 2 hours to do an interview with a guy who's got 80 subs. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here and I'm reaching out to everybody. I can't get a hold of a goddamn person. Well, I even offered to pay a guy who was lining up interviews every week. I said, dude, you get me those interviews, I'll pay you to produce my show. And he was like, no. He said no. What?
Imagine, you're just trying to get an interview. Poor Alex Marvez tried to interview the Young Bucks and got his head kicked off.
That was terrible.
That didn't need to happen. So what? The Young Bucks have to turn heel now too. I know they're not turning heel. They're going to be emo Bucks.
Nobody
with
likes,
a little more edge.
They cheered that. Nobody likes Marvez. The people probably happy they kicked Marvez in the face.
People probably loved it, but I just thought it was a silly, pointless, stupid thing.
No, the angle was so cheesy. It actually, unfortunately, it had the opposite effect. And let me explain this to you, AEW, or whoever made that segment. Love you to death. But when you do a cheesy shot like that was like a comedy kick. That was like the Shawn Michaels kick to Sean Spears back in the day. Yeah, hey, Stan. Like, it was a comedy kick. You don't do that. What you could have had is had them run at him and then punch him down off camera, and the camera goes up and down and then pans down, and Marvez is on the ground, and then they kick him, stomp on him while he's down, and they go, don't knock on our goddamn door, and then they go back in and they slam the door. That would have been better. Or a scary assault on somebody. But that super kick thing, that was cheesy. That looked like a joke.
It looked very comedic, and then to find out later in the night that they're only fined $5,000 a piece, it just felt like peanuts. So what was the point of instating a fine anyways?
Yeah, Greg makes a good point in the chat. People thought he was a joke, so Jericho put him over. I don't mind that either. I think that was a good thing by Jericho. All in all, it entertained me enough, and so I like it. So I like that Jericho. I like what Jericho did with him. I get it, and we're probably being critical or whatever. It didn't work out and make Orange Cassidy a top guy. But what I think it did do is make him a solid... He's basically in the same role he was in to me. The difference is he's a little bit more legitimized. Didn't make him a star, didn't make him a top mid-card talent, but it made him a little bit more legitimized in what he's doing than before. So that's the one thing. It didn't hurt him. Let's put it that way. There's no way... Orange Cassidy working with Jericho did not hurt Orange Cassidy. It raised him a little bit. It didn't raise him a ton like maybe people would hope. It didn't raise him a big chunk, but it raised him a little bit.
It did enough. I think it did more than enough for what they were hoping to achieve with him.
Right.
I think there's certainly been an increase in merch sales with Orange Cassidy, and it got him over with a certain portion of the audience that they were hoping for. So I think they achieved their goal with what they were trying to with Jericho and Cassidy. Absolutely.
Well, and what did you think of Rusev's? We talked about it a little bit, but Miro.
Well, I want to get into really quick before that. Even still, I mean, you have to set up this whole stupid segment, and obviously, you got Kip Sabian coming out. He's talking about who's going to be my best man, and they bring out Puff because he's fat. It's funny. Get it? He's fat. Jelly rolls, funny. So in this WWE stupid Vince McMahon flavored segment, the next out is Brian Pillman Jr., who ends up looking like a piece of shit too, surprisingly, because he got a text message that said he's the best man, but oh, look at that grammar error there, it's a comma, and he's just the best man. Again, very, very stupid and just cringy. Then we get, the real best man, it's Miro. And it's not that I don't like Miro. I do like Rusev. And he was treated so piss poor in WWE, like Matt the Misfit said before. If anybody has a right to complain, it would be him. But those speeches are so generic. Everybody has a right to bitch when they get out of Vince's grasp. Because look what they do to people over there. Look at every NXT call-up. Look at every mid-carder. Look at every champion that's just floundering. We get it. That's why I wanted AEW to succeed. People saying that I don't like AEW. I like this company. I want them to do better. I know they can do better. They can, think about it. The lowest rating I've given this show didn't happen until this past week. they've been consistently out of me, even being critical of all critical nights. I've given them 7s. That's a high rating compared to Raw's 4, 3, and 2. So, I mean, all in all, I want to see them, get somewhere. But these ridiculous, stale, rudimentary promos of, the proverbial brass ring and how I've been screwed so many times and I'm going to come out here and kick everybody's ass is just so generic and boring. And I know that we could probably get something better from him. So what's the problem here? Where did everybody go wrong with this? Who's thought this would be a good idea?
Right. It's like,
now I will give them credit because the Adam Page promo and the Omega promo, I like the Adam Page one more, but those were both good backstage.
Right.
So certain things can be handled well, and other times you're waiting and it's just not delivering.
Well, I do want to shout out Aaron Embry up to the $5 Cronin Club spot on my Patreon. Man, thank you for signing up on Patreon. Aaron Embry! Aaron, you're a beast, brother. And you didn't sign up, you upgraded. And we got Chase Weatherwalks, became a $5 Cronin Club as well on Patreon. Thank you, Chase. Or is that how you say your name? That's a different spelling. Weatherwalks. That's a cool-ass name. The Great Deity is back as well. Shout out to him and Cornelius T. Thanks to Cornelius. So you're going to be Rupert next month? Go Fight Club on somebody? We got RLD Reviews became a $5 patron as well. Ron Bowers is back also. Colleen Schmitz back. MK Kratos back in the $6 spot. And the good old sexy pants MWM in the $10 VIP. And you can't forget about Jason Tarr. Jason Tarr went up to the $25 producer level again. And so shout out to him for being a producer of the Joe Cronin Show. You will see your name credited down below on every single show during the month. You are a producer level. Thank you guys for keeping the shows on the air. Okay, so now do you have more on Rusev, or is that it?
That's it for that.
That's
part.
it. Okay, well, I'm the same way. I mean, listen.
He could be a great mid-card champion. I've always wanted to see him excel and do more, and he got stifled in WWE. We know this.
Right.
He never should have lost to John Cena, and then from there it was just loss after loss.
I'm concerned that we're going to be sitting here months from now saying, wow, because I was excited by his promo, even though it was like generic, like, oh, bash WWE. Even though that's true, listen, I'm petty too. And I enjoyed it, like, even though I'm petty as well. But if we're sitting here in 5 months and we're like, yeah, great, and we're sitting here basically treating Rusev or Miro like you would treat an NXT talent who's going to go up to the main roster.
Exactly.
Which is like, whoa, oh my God, go to the main, he's going to the main roster, oh my God. And then he comes to the main roster.
Yes, he is signed. He even said he's all elite at the end. I mean, that's how he signed off his promo. And I'm Miro and I'm all elite. We know he's signed. I'm being a wise ass before, but it's just, I was saying I don't give two shits whether or not he's there. I was just fired up because I want to see him, wow me. And that's not what we got. And I know he's charismatic because I've watched him on Twitch and he's very entertaining. So I was just, hoping for more that I know he can deliver, honestly.
What exactly do you think they're going to do to Lana in WWE after this?
She says they weren't mad at her about the Bang Energy stuff, but I mean, that was an issue with, her procuring her own advertising deals. And that's, what the straw that broke the camel's back for all the third-party stuff. And so people are already ticked at her now. And now you see her husband appear, just like Renee. Give it a few months and she'll be gone too.
Right.
And funny enough, Renee has a 1-year no-compete clause.
Oh, my God.
How ridiculous is that? She said, I won't confirm exactly how long, but it's a little over a year.
Oh, my God.
Is that not the most just heinously ridiculous thing you've heard? And she wasn't even somehow, I don't even know how they got away with this, because she wasn't really signed with the company at that point anymore. So all she had to do was give them a 2 weeks notice for her to leave. Her contract was up and somehow they still found a way to screw her over with a 1-year no compete.
Have the baby now.
Yeah, really. Now's the time to get pregnant immediately.
Dead see, yeah. Have God damn it, have the baby now. In 9 months, you have the baby. 3 to 4 months after that, the baby's old enough and you can get back to work somewhere. I
think this is why I get upset when AEW gets petty, because WWE is so petty, and it's, you know, don't throw stones in glass houses kind of idea. I see AEW not able to handle the criticism, and it's like, oh, well, don't start being petty when you guys have problems yourselves that you need to address.
Right.
And I want them to do better. I want them to be better than Vince. I want them to be better than take care of your wrestlers, take care of your people, allow people, and for every time we start to see that, we get some things that go against the contrary, but they're young, they're learning, they're growing. So we're still giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's just, you want better from them. But
in her case, I guess it's not really a no compete; it's a no appearance clause.
I mean,
they can't even.
There's a lot of specifics to it.
She's in the crowd. They can't show her on TV. If they show her, that's a problem.
There's a lot of specifics to it that I'm not privy to. But
well, and here's the other thing. From what I heard from Moxley, it sounds like to me this is what's going to happen. She's going to try to become a news reporter or a sports worker or an interviewer. She's going to try to work at ESPN. She's going to try to work at whatever, NBC, ESPN, sports, football, whatever it is. Renee Young is going to try to work for a company, like a real company doing some kind of reporter stuff or host stuff. I don't think she's going to a wrestling company. The only way I believe that we see Renee Young become anything permanent in AEW or whatever is if it doesn't work out. If she goes to wherever she goes to try to be a reporter or whatever she tries to do, and it doesn't work out and she can't get a job and she's bored, then you will maybe see her in a company. Or you'll see her host her own YouTube sit-down show or at Sirius Satellite or somewhere. You're going to see her go somewhere. I could see even WWE being petty enough to block her in some places. They got friendships with NBC. But,
yeah, I could picture that. But you figure WWE would set her up with a job with like something like ESPN, rather than outright be afraid of her going to AEW. Try and show that, hey, we're here to support you in your endeavors.
No, I
not
wouldn't
hold you down. But
you're the wife of the enemy. I wouldn't think that at all. I think she wants to go there with him. Fuck this lady.
Even though she outright said that was not her intention.
Well, why is she gone now then?
Well, she was leaving the company regardless. She already said that.
I wouldn't believe her. They believed fucking Razor. Vince McMahon.
They believed Moxley,
Vince, yeah, exactly. Vince McMahon believed Kevin fucking goddamn dildo, and
that's what I was saying. Don't even give her
Scott
the chance
Hall.
to, just set up her next, with her blessing, of course. But I'm saying if they set her up somewhere like a ESPN, WWE has pull to get her in there. I guarantee that would have worked because that's what she wanted to do. She said she wanted to get into sports. So
Darla, I don't think she'd go to the NHL only because the NHL already has Catherine Tappan, and Catherine Tappan she was a Boston Bruins. She was the desk lady for the Boston Bruins for 5 years, and when she took over in Boston, I said, "Damn, this girl is good," and I was like, "This girl is good." She's working at Nesson, a local hockey reporter lady, and I'm like, this lady could be fucking a star. And then she was gone and she works for the NHL now. But I think that Renee Young, or whatever her real name is, could become the Catherine Tappan or the Renee Young of WWE somewhere else with the NFL or whatever. There's so many different things that she could do. It's easy to see how good she is.
Sexy Transylvania.
Oh, no.
From sexy Transylvania. I'm making sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania. Sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania.
No, Tommy, no, I did not say you could put it in my ass, Tommy.
Tommy Sex Tape, thanks for the $7. Man, he has been attacking me all day. That guy. I had to block him everywhere.
Send me my video, my DVD.
I got the whole goddamn thing on a download thing.
Not just burn it in front of him.
I did last night. I hope he's all right.
Party.
Nah, I reached out to him and he's all right. We'll be all right.
Terry's gonna be a porno called Sunny Days in the Rose Garden with Vicky pulling both the weeds. And Eddie's up there like, what the hell, man?
Well, I mean, they he's like, yeah, that's what I like to see. Well, they already did Sunny Side Up, right, with Sunny, so that's kind of like Sunny Days.
Well, now we got Sunny Kiss. We'll have Sunny Days and Nyla Rose, the Rose Garden.
How about Sunny Daisies? And they're just laying naked in daisies.
Oh God,
that'd be nice. I like Vicky Guerrero with Nyla, by the way, because they couldn't really figure out Nyla, like her manager. It wasn't working with anybody, and Nyla wasn't working by herself because her promos and like it was.
Yeah, she was acting like a rejected Nia Jax.
Yeah,
that type of yelling, and you got to get loud for a couple of sentences, and that ridiculous.
Which Vicky has always been loud.
Vicky's always loud, but it's her own distinct style. As where Nia and Nyla, their voice just goes up a few decibels, and that's it. They just get louder. And what
did Vicky call them? The backstage dressing room or something? She had some name for them. It was I don't remember it, but does anybody remember it? It was kind of funny. Like, and so I think Vicky Guerrero with Nyla, they finally figured it out. I don't know why, but these two work together. I don't know why, but they do. Before this, I thought Nyla Rose
each other. Yeah,
I thought Nyla Rose was going to be out of this company. But before this, I was like, wow, this was a mistake. Like,
Vicky's a saving grace for her.
It really is. Yeah, it's weird.
What did you think of Jon Moxley's backstage promo?
Generic promo number 78 from Jon Moxley.
See, that's the thing that I was hoping different from Miro. Maybe I'm just being callous because I am so entertained by him elsewhere that I was expecting more than just something generic, but. I am happy that he's in a new company. I'm happy that Miro is going to be. Just I wish him the best. I do. I have a big fear that a few weeks he's going to be forgotten about and just another one of Cody's friends on the side. A Biff Raiden.
Yeah, Biff Raiden, dude. And Matt Cardona, please change your name to Biff Raiden. Do it now. Biff Raiden, Matt Cardona. Biff Raiden. I know that Jim Ross said you're missing something. He said he's missing something. He's got the athleticism. He's got the look. He's got the wrestling knowledge. He's got the build. He's got everything, but he's missing something. There's something missing about him. JR said that at the pay-per-view. He literally said that you're missing something, Matt Cardona, and it's Biff Raiden. By the way, their names are the Vicious Vixens, and that is so cringy weird that it actually worked when she screamed it. Because the Vicious Vixens! Like, I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, so all of a sudden, I like that tandem when I've done nothing but shit on Nyla Rose for a year. So, not bad. And, yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind Miro. It was sort of a, I don't know, man. I get it. Like I'm thinking about X-Pac, right? X-Pac shows up in WWE, WrestleMania 14, Monday Night Raw after Mania 14. Nobody forgets that promo, and he shit on WCW.
You turn to the Click, yeah.
Yeah, you turn to your friends, the Click. X-Pac comes out there and goes, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan will go so far up your ass, he'll know what you had for breakfast. I'm here to rip ass on the World Wrestling Federation, and it starts tonight.
I'm not saying don't rip Vince a new one. Just don't be so generic about it. If he came out there and he wowed me like X-Pac had done, when he came in that night, telling, Bischoff that we didn't hear him say, he could have even Mr. Titan Tower, he didn't have to, you don't want to say Vince's name. Fine. I don't blame you. Don't, but you could be directly indirect.
Now,
you could have been far more specific, and you could have talked about many things. You could have made light of. I know there's more time for him to make references to things, but I don't know. I just expected to be friggin' wowed.
I think there's a conspiracy with Cardona because they said Cardona hasn't signed, so they're saying that it's Cardona that hasn't signed with AEW, and they said that. And then the very next day or the very next show that AEW puts on is All Out. And what happens? Jim Ross takes a shot at him and says, boy, I don't know what this guy, he's really got the look. He's got all these things, but there's just something missing, and there's something there missing. And when he figures it out, well, then he might be a top guy. That's what JR said.
Yep.
Why would you say that? Like about a face who's right there? Like, I mean, it's a weird. It's true, but it's a weird thing to say when you're putting over the faces. Just like I have a conspiracy that the JR tried to get something done and the guy said no, and JR went, well, fuck you then. Oh, there's something missing. Maybe he'll figure it out. Maybe he won't. Because he knew that was the last time they were going to see him. So something's up there. I'm fucking smart. Something's going on. I'm just kidding. I'm not that smart. But no, something's up with that. But, then later on, JR went on to say that Kenny Omega, well, he does all these big moves, but, he's going to crash and burn. You're going to crash and burn eventually. And it's not going to work out. Which is another weird thing to say about.
Yeah, I think it might be, what Alexis and Pocket Aces said. One, JR never liked him, but two, JR doesn't give a damn. He gives no fucks.
Right.
I think that's part of Ross's nature. He just says what's on his mind and then apologizes after.
Well, what I've noticed about the JR now, and this is 100. What I'm about to say is 100% true. I don't give a damn what anybody says. JR now has an element to his commentary that he didn't have before, and you can call it zero fucks, but I think what it is his actual opinions as like a talent agent are coming across in the commentary. He can't help it but say the thing he would say in the back. He's saying things on the air that he would say in the meeting in the back. Like, he's saying these weird, honest things, even about faces. And you're like, why did you just shit on this guy? Why'd you do that? Like even me, right? Like, I believe that about Matt Cardona, that something's missing. But I wouldn't have said that on the air. I would have said, damn, Matt Cardona is here in AEW. This is a guy who, when he's given any kind of chance, has made a hell of a lot out of it. And he's a big guy. He's a bigger guy here than anywhere else he's ever been. He looks great. He's in some of the best shape of his life. The AEW roster, man, they're looking across at this Adonis, and they're thinking, they're worried. This guy's a guy who's going to take your spot. And he's a guy who, you know what I mean? At some point here, if he gets some kind of shot that's not some kind of mixed tag match, this guy's won championships, and he'll win them here. And it's going to be hard to beat him if he does.
That's why there's no God, because you're not doing commentary.
But instead it was like, oh, well, yeah, Matt Cardona, yeah, but he's something missing from his game there. Something's missing, He looks great, he moves great, he's definitely one of the great wrestler, but when he finds out whatever that one thing is that's missing, there's something there that's not right, and when he figures it out, he'll have something there. What the fuck? Which
so bizarre.
I agree with it, but it's like, what?
I know, but don't bury the face of their faces. That's what you're saying. Don't bury the faces.
I don't love him either. I think he's a solid mid-card guy, and what the hell is he gonna do? I mean, he hasn't really been on the mic. He really just kind of shows up as Cody's friend. Has he really said much in AEW?
No. And when the whole reason he was in that last match at All Out was in defense of Cody. Right. I mean and then on top of it, he said in the vignette before the match, I'm not even signed to the company, so what do I care? Watch what I do, that kind of thing. And it's like, all right, great point. You shouldn't keep reminding everybody of that though. But all right, I see what you're trying to say. You won't be held responsible for your actions, but that didn't match to what we got. So leaves a lot to be desired. We talked briefly about Hager and Jericho versus Kiss and Janela. We talked more about Kiss's ass, but the match itself was pretty decent. I like the fact that Jericho and Hager are going to go into the tag division, because Hager would probably only really be the TNT champion on his own, and then you figure Jericho's not going to get back up into the upper echelon of the AEW championship probably anytime soon, if again at all. So for them going for the tag titles, I feel like is probably the best thing for one of their top stars of the company.
Yeah, and I don't know who's he going to face to get, there's got to be a road to that, but I don't know.
I'm sure they're going to go through many tag teams. So Jericho's going to be working with quite a few of the other teams, which will be good. And, shared experience. I think, all around it's a lot.
Oh man, that would be a great name for like a homoerotic tag team. Shared experience. And tonight we're going to step in the ring, and you guys are going to have the ability to share the experience. And they touch their two fingers together like penises and go like that.
Oh, yeah.
The shared experience. experience. Like,
They should
oh
just-
my god! Ah.
You know what? You should have them both, lay on their side, put their leg in the air, like like they're scissoring almost.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the pyro go out like the DX behind them.
Yes.
So it looks like we just have pyro shooting out of their crotch.
Well, oh, that would be hot, dude. I'm down. Get those Hardy explosives.
They just open their legs and, watch it fire.
Janela, Joey Jellybelly, Janela, back down Janela. He backed down from the interview on my show, guys. Remember, I called him back down Janela. He backed down from Enzo. He backed down from this, that, and the other thing. And he backed down from doing an interview on my show. The guy backs down from everything. But he also backed down from his weight loss because he was getting in shape. 7 months ago, Joey Janela began getting in good shape. And now he's pudgy again. He looks like me again. Because I don't know why. Because he was like, forget it. They don't care. They don't care.
He doesn't want to start looking like me. That's dangerous territory. You know?
Well, it's weird because he really lost.
He
started getting cut. He did. It was good.
No, you're right about that. And it was around shortly after, I believe, the time of the Enzo stuff.
Now
that he really started.
No,
to
I know what
look
it is.
different.
He's drinking Sunny Kisses cum, and that's. Now
they're going out to too many gas stations on their road trips.
Yeah,
filling up on all those damn snacks.
Yeah, they're having the Twinkies and the fucking bear pies or whatever you call
they're
them.
not kicking enough ass. They're just eating enough bullshit.
Ugh, you back down, man. Back down, Janela.
Super Chat Party.
Super Chat Party.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to the UK. How you doing? It's been
Good
an amazing
morning.
AEW tonight. Alan Samways, OG of JCS. Alan, thank you, man, so much for the $1.99, and thank you guys for the donations. We'll keep playing them, man. There's some more coming in. Keep us rolling here as I drink my Poland Springs sparkling energy water beverage.
MJF's backstage promo with his campaign staff was really good. I'm glad
Yes.
they didn't just ignore them. He fired them for not helping him.
Yep.
I like what he said about Moxley being a scorpion. Obviously, you can't blame a scorpion for stinging you. The interaction he had with Wardlow was really good.
Uh-huh.
And I sign your checks, not AEW, not Tony Khan. So you basically you answer to me. And MJF said we have to get a plan for me to get back on top where I belong. Really entertaining, really good, and I'm glad he's away from the silly campaign stuff in where he belongs in a different wheelhouse. He's so much more entertaining as just himself. So I'm all for that. Good change.
I like that it happened and it was short lived, and they it's like they knew when to move on from it. They were like, okay, it kind of worked, but it wasn't the greatest thing. All right, let's go on now. And I love that we're not going to get sick of it. It happened and it's already over. But it wasn't a failure, but it was kind of like he doesn't need that really. Okay, it's done. It's and you love that about it. And MJF was good. Moxley's promo again was just him being like, I'm Moxley. Man, I hate to say it. I was so excited when they signed Jon Moxley to WWE back in the day. I thought, oh my God, this CZW guy, like, oh my God, this is great. The guy's good at promos. He's like a Roddy Piper meets Mick Foley type. This is going to be great.
And then they were going to have him feud with Mick Foley, and that was going to be
Yes.
awesome. And then that fell through.
Yeah, and I would have liked
that turned into a disaster, but.
And to this day, man, I mean, but at the same time that I'm criticizing and saying he's kind of generic Moxley, mundane Moxley to me, even though he's mundane Moxley, I believe he had the best match of AEW All Out. So, and
I agree with that. He definitely was the best match of the night for me as well. And he can turn it up to 11 at times and give you these great promos and matches and performances. So that's what you're waiting for. And he's still entertaining. I mean, even when it's generic, it's like, it's okay. It's not awful. It's not raw quality. You're not watching the Street Profits take on Andrade and Garza for the 9,000th time.
Right.
But it's not great either. And we know, especially when you get somebody, not delivering at their highest, it becomes even more disappointing. There wasn't often that Stone Cold gave you a bad promo or something that was generic. Each time was pretty memorable. Every now and again you'd get one, you're like, it wasn't as great. But those were so few and far between, as where this feels kind of regular for Moxley lately.
Yeah. I agree, man. It's very generic. He's not bad. It's just that you just feel like the guy has another level that he never gets to. And the further removed we get from the guy in the Shield, but really the guy from the Indies before NXT or WWE, the further we get from that guy or that time, the more this guy is polished but mundane. and I don't know what it is, man, but he's missing. But the minute that he had that wrestling match or that Texas death match, even though it wasn't quite a death match, it was good, but it wasn't that insane. People made it out like it was brutal, gruesome. It wasn't even that bad.
A lot of people I don't think have seen anything worse as far as
a lot of people are pussies.
Death matches, yeah.
But
and that was done really, really safe too.
Yeah, it was too safe, kind of in a way.
You know, it wasn't real glass. It wasn't real barbed wire.
Well, I mean, but
I'm not complaining about that. I don't want it to be real glass and barbed wire. I'm just saying that there are, like when you look at CZW and even MLW and the guys are taking staple guns and cutting their foreheads open and stapling it back together.
I never liked that.
Wild.
I
don't either. I've never been in for that
yeah.
brutal type of, bloodbath, but I like color in a match when you see somebody bust it open, but it's just one cut, it's likely they
I like a window over the head, a window to the back, a glass bulb to the back. Those are okay to me.
Yeah, but not when it's gratuitous to the point where, it's a crimson mask.
I don't like when he's stabbing him in the eye with the fucking light bulb. I don't like that.
Yeah, he's got the fork and he's jabbing it into his forehead repeatedly, stapling his cheek, and no.
Yeah, I don't like it. It doesn't.
But we've seen that is the point. So when they went through a light fixture and had sugar glass on the ground that they smacked each other into, people were like, "Oh my god, that's the worst thing ever. That's too extreme." And it was funny to see.
In fact, I'm sad because my old Twitter account had all the videos. My old Twitter account was the one.
Yeah,
I was like calling over the call and like tweeting it out like Moxley through the glass light, and I was calling and just being excited about the show, and it was really exciting, man. That what was it? Double or Nothing, the first one.
No, I don't remember. Full Gear.
It's Full Gear. Okay, yeah, Full Gear
when they had the Omega.
They had the match.
Moxley match. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and watch that. I think tonight. So that was when I felt yes, like here we go. But
I just rewatched it Saturday
really?
afternoon. Because I wanted to get into All Out, so I went back and watched a few other matches, and it does hold up.
Yeah, it does.
It's still a great match, and it's actually it grew on me more now that time had passed. So you get rid of the quote unquote shock factor.
But one of the things for me is like I wanted. It still was a soft kind of match, and it's like, but it got backlash that we don't need this in wrestling anymore, and it was like, dude, this is not even this is a light version of this isn't a Texas death match. I mean, you think about Terry Funk and those things; those were really, really good. I'm not talking about I don't want Abdullah the Butcher, I don't want New Jack Abdullah the Butcher, but give me something in the middle of that.
Exactly. Like, I do like hardcore and
Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Violence that's pointless, where it becomes like a test of gore. Who could make who bleed more and those type of things. It just that to me isn't competitive. It's not what I'm signing up for.
Right. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. But let me go back to the donos here. Let's check it out. What's the new channel for Monetize This? It's Corrupted Nation, Stone Cold Cronin fan. Corrupted Nation. Or just search Monetize This, and it'll probably be the last one. But no, look at Corrupted Nation. It's in the description box below. Just expand the video down below, and all my links to my things are down below there, including the donation link. And feel free to do it tonight. And speaking of the donation link, right now, the largest donation of this stream, Tommy Sex Tape, $7. Thank you. And we'll see if anybody can beat him.
Super Chat Party.
Here comes Spaz Phoenix.
Look at the champs. Ambaro's Harper Revival. Former champs. Stardust Y2J. New team in the hunt. Y2J and Swagger. AEW all ex-WWE.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They are all ex-WWE guys.
It is funny. You can't overstate that enough.
But if it was Cody, the Young Bucks, and somebody else, then you'd say, the homers are winning.
All the elite,
I think it's them. They're trying to put over guys that came in from the outside. And that's part of it. They're trying to respect and put over guys that have come in from the outside because they feel like...
Well, Spaz, you didn't mention Sheeta, you faggot. So now what? AEW is awesome.
Wow.
Stop making fun. No, he is right about all the WWE
what
guys.
Else we got? A little bit of the bubbly.
Oh my God.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Making a prediction, see what you guys think. Predict that Hangman Page will defeat heel Omega for the AEW Championship at Double or Nothing 2021 after Omega beats Moxley. Thanks, Matt the Misfit.
Yeah, I didn't like his outfit, and I wasn't a big fan of his promo either, the Mr. Gentleman promo
Right.
type. Allow me to introduce myself. Are you going to fuck the guy, or are you cutting a promo?
Right.
Oh, man. Bless Conan. I tried
Matt's
to get him on the show.
something. That would be a crazy story, you know, to get that payoff.
Yeah. It could happen. It could happen. The Botch Club and Wrestle Daily. It's 4-time Kenny Omega to turn up. He has it all. Its time is perfect. I felt closure finding who Eminem biggest fan was. The Wrestle Daily. The Wrestle Daily. Google the WWE Jimmy Miranda Award. Get educated on it. Joe Pesci Cronin and Jake John Gotti DeMarco.
Oh, now we're mob bosses.
I like it. Joe Pesci always been such a midget, though, you know, quite honestly. When they buried him in Goodfellas, I mean...
Do a little basketball dance off the concrete.
Oh!
I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Go ahead.
Think about it. How would you feel if you came into WrestleMania on a tank and get buried by Cena? A stupid fish storyline, Rusev Day buried, and a stupid wedding storyline. It'd be pissed too.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said of all people.
Are you worried that it's just a mockery, like to make fun of Vince, like that they're putting him in the angle of this?
Well, they did the same thing the other day of, you know, they're still doing it on Being the Elite with Brody Lee. He's still acting like Vince McMahon, you know, and he went ahead and said, oh, all of your third-party stuff to the Dark Order, you know, all of your third-party stuff you have to get rid of, and, you know, none of your Twitch channels. And so obviously he's making fun of Vince, making everybody, you know, get rid of their stuff, obviously, in the company. So that's what I'm worried about, too. I don't want him to become just a shell of his former self that's nothing more than a parody of his old company.
Right. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see that.
I can also see it that he's like, I'm going to use it as material. Everything this guy does, I'm going to mock it. I'm going to make fun of it, whatever, you know. So I kind of get that, and I think that we kind of might have to reserve that. Like, listen, this is part of what the guy's doing. He's doing, like, you know, the thing to, you know, to mock Vince, and he's going to keep doing it. It's not a, you know. But it was. I thought it was funny. And I know that, you know, I don't know what part of the crowd I'm on. Of like, dude, it's like, all right, like, leave him, like, do your own thing now. But I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy it. As long as he continues to be a badass and he's cool. Every once in a while, being funny by making fun of Vince to me is, I guess, kind of funny. But, you know, I can see how some people are sick of it or whatever. But I guess the other thing, too, is he's still not fully committed to anything. Like, he's not quite... If he was a full-on, like, parody of Vince, that might be hilarious. And if he also got rid of it, it might be better. But he kind of does this hybrid of... I'm Brody Lee, the Dark Order, but I'm also the guy that makes fun of Vince McMahon for some reason. It's like there's these two different sides to him that don't make sense together, and I think that's where some people can't get into
Pocket
it.
Aces is right, Joe, because Brody Lee said recently, oh, I'm not doing the Vince gimmick, but he clearly is. I mean, if you go to this week's Being the Elite, as soon as they hear that, oh, Vince is not allowing, you know, people to be on Twitch, they couldn't wait to have Brody Lee implement the new orders. Oh, you know, Dark Order can't be on Twitch like that. So he's doing the Vince-isms. Like, you can't tell me he's not. So it's very confusing. That's
Maybe it's a funny joke where he keeps telling everybody, I don't know what you're talking about, but then he does it.
Maybe.
Could be that too, you know?
Could be.
So I don't know. And we're trying to give him some kind of benefit of the doubt.
And Neo's right. Silver's hilarious. You know, they had a thing with Wardlow this week where they were trying to go ahead and they were going to ask Wardlow to join the Dark Order, but they were just so distracted by his body and physique and his muscles that they totally forgot to ask him. But Wardlow likes being complimented the entire time, so he's like, "We'll pick this up next time." Like it was very funny, and they have, you know, a lot of charisma. So when you watch those vignettes and stuff, it's become required watching. As where before you can kind of, you know, get away with some things, but BTE is been, you know, a bit of a requirement for a while. But it's really like, you know, even trickled into Dynamite and Dark and all these things. So I wish they would show this more on the show. Is my point.
Yeah, you know. There's a part of Brody, it's weird about Brody Lee, because Seth Rollins essentially tries to play this character too. Seth Rollins tries to play this evil bad guy character, and Seth is funny And Seth comes off more like a cartoon silly villain, which isn't bad. It's fine, but he comes off more comedy. Brody Lee does the same thing, but Brody Lee looks a little more serious. So Brody Lee has the potential to be funny as hell, over the top, but also scary. And that's something that Seth doesn't have. Seth is missing the scary part. He's more of a Sunday morning cartoon evil villain, which is fine. But Brody Lee
he's not intimidating.
Right. Brody Lee feels like the real boss, bad guy at the end of the fight or game or whatever.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, I've enjoyed the story they told, and they're introducing parts of it over on Dynamite, like the thing with the lawnmowers. You know, that was their celebration because they got themselves the Chili sponsorship, and that was $1 million sponsorship. And so now this week on Being the Elite, you know, you had to have one of the Young Bucks go to Cracker Barrel to actually buy them food. And say, oh, are we getting fed?
What'd you call me?
Hey, listen, Cracker. But it's I don't know if that would necessarily work on TV, but those types of things might. I mean, that's a little silly, but the point is they're showing character and charisma, and they are getting over with the audience. Then they show little glimpses of it without explaining it. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like a fourth wall break, wink and nod, or if they just expect that everybody's tuning in to, you know, Being the Elite. But
breaking here from wrestling for a second. We talked about it on Throwdown last night. You weren't there. I gotta bring it up, and I hope I can find it. Nope, I can't. Shit. But I'll find it anyway. Hold on a minute. Did you see Joe Rogan's new set?
Yes, yeah, I was watching you guys talk about it, and it does look like it's out of the future,
bro.
And I was trying to message Drew at the same time because I'm like, no, it's real. I've seen it on Instagram. I know it's a real set. I've seen it from different angles. It's not a green screen. And Dave's saying, no, it's a green screen. It's definitely. I'm like, no, it's real. I swear.
I wasn't sold on Dave saying that. I was trying to question it. I kept thinking like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he was really trying to sell you on that fact, but. No, it's a real set, and that thing is crazy.
I mean,
the before and after is.
I'm down with making a crazy set. In fact, I'm doing it to my office right now. I'm working on how to make this place look amazing. But
yeah, you said that inspired you, so hey.
Well, I mean, I've already been doing it anyway, but this did inspire me even more. You know what? Let's go crazy in this basement. But then you know what will happen is I'll design this whole office, and then like the donations will stop. And Patreon will die, and YouTube will die, and then I'll be out of a job and homeless, and Leah will leave me, and the house will go bye-bye. And then I'll be like, why did I do that?
It sounds like my thought process.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I just stay small, keep it how it is. You know, the office is fucked up. Just have a green screen for now. But no, it's
the office you had before was really nice. I really liked that
it was, and that was just foam. It was just $50 of foam on the walls.
Yeah, and that worked out great because that looked good. You had the monitors in the front of the desk, and
yeah. No, I'm
down low.
I'm going right back to that. That's all. There's not much different that I'm doing. It's just that I fixed the floor and I put some wood up and soundproofing. That's all. But this is claustrophobic to me.
Yeah, that's
what almost, the fuck.
I guess you have to see it in person. Looks can be deceiving, but it looks like they're very in each other's faces.
It gave me anxiety. I was watching it and I was like, good Christ.
Especially when he used to have this whole compound before where you can go and shoot bow and arrows with him, and you know, you had all these huge things on display like the wolf and stuff like that.
Now it's like he just had Ron
kind of crammed in there.
Just had Ron White on his show. And I'm gonna go watch this later. I love Ron White, actually. But just look, and by the way, what is Ron White going hippie? Either Ron White is sick with cancer or he's really lost weight.
I think it's the you know, pandemic diet that everybody's been on.
Maybe. But this is, I mean, the grates behind him right on top of each other. Like, I don't know, man. That
it looks like something out of Alien. You know, like they're, you know, the like the shaft that they're walking down when they originally are hiding from the alien, like in one of the first times it's appearing. That's kind of how it looked to me. Like, you know, you see the red light slowly, and it just, you know, it has
they look like they're in
sci-fi
I think they're in a Chinese restaurant. That's what I thought.
We actually, when you guys brought that up last night, it was funny because we have an Iron Chef here. It's a Japanese hibachi restaurant, and that is their decor. Mine, like it's all red with like black lining on the wall, and then they have the Ganesh, you know, type statue that he has behind Joe in the corner. So it's very funny.
And I mean, it looks like they're in a space capsule.
a sushi restaurant that's also able to be on the space station.
I'd want to eat sushi every time I went into, and I know Chinese is different though than Japanese, and obviously, and this reminds me more of Chinese than Japanese. But even so, it still has an Asian flavor that would make me think, are we getting some Chinese food or like sushi every time I come in here? Because that's what I feel like we're doing here. The only thing he's missing is the fucking fish tank. That's all he's missing. He gets a fish tank in there, it's a fucking Chinese restaurant.
It absolutely is. That's all he needs
just
with a big blowfish in it.
Blum, blum.
Big blowfish.
Unbelievable stuff like from this. But congrats to him, I guess. And he sold out, man. I feel like he took 50 episodes off Spotify.
Those episodes were up later that day, by the way, too.
Wait, what?
The ones that everybody was complaining about being missing,
they're back?
They were up later that day and that evening.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were on Spotify. I searched for them later that night and found them. I even re-listened to most of the Joe Rogan one.
They call me
not Joe Rogan, Jesus, Alex Jones.
Tater salad.
So
tater salad.
Yeah, those episodes, they were just staggered, and I guess it was a coincidence that these people are the episodes that aren't up yet. But I guess what they said is that they were just uploading everything.
I heard that they were actually, it was partly because they were the longest episodes.
Yeah, so they were taking longer to convert.
What episode is Alex Jones? Do you remember?
I just listened to it again. Hold
Somebody in the chat knows. Somebody tell me, what episode is Alex Jones? I'm gonna go look right now because now I'm curious.
It's 12:55.
12:55.
Yeah,
is Alex Jones.
And the one from a year ago where he returned.
Right. Alex is back.
That one. Yeah.
They got like 1 million views.
Yeah, with Eddie Bravo. That has like 23 million, I think, last I checked.
Nope, it's missing. It's not there.
Is it?
Nope.
See, I had it too before, so.
No, Dr. Phil, 12:54, 12:56, David Lee Roth, they're missing it. It's not there.
I even listened to the Alex Jones one.
It ain't there. It's not there. You know who is on Spotify, though, is Joe Cronin. And by the way, my Spotify blew up all week. Because Joe Cronin sounds like Joe Rogan. And if you type in Joe Rowe, the Cronin comes up, I think. At least it did last week. And people must have been typing in and accidentally clicking on my name. It didn't happen a lot, but it did a little bit. I had a spike. I had like a few days where I had thousands of downloads on my Spotify those days, and I went, I don't even upload that much to Spotify and iTunes and my podcast on there. And there was this giant spike. I knew that would happen because it's confusing Joe Cronin, Joe Rogan, and you'll get recommended Joe Rogan when you type in Joe Cronin. So, kind of funny. So,
yeah. So Stephen Molyneux, Joey Diaz, Tommy Chong were originally unavailable as well. Those are up. There's other ones that are coming up, and then there's ones that are still being released.
Maybe Spotify wanted it to almost be like a secondary launching, like, okay, it's up now, and like they're
making a playlist too of like his favorite episodes, and a lot of those are the ones featured in there too. So
okay. But it also, he really hasn't commented on it though too. He probably could help things by saying, hey guys, everything's going to be here. Just there's a plan for everything right now, and you'll see. But he didn't. Unless he said that, I'm not sure. Anyway, I know we'll get back to wrestling, but I love podcasts. I love Jake does too. We love podcasts. And we love radio. You guys know about that from me if you ever listen to my podcast on Patreon and things like that. I just love radio, and Jake does too. A lot of us do. That's why we're here. And it's just always been something. So now we have never-ending radio with tons of podcasts to listen to everywhere. And you guys supporting this show with donations and being on Patreon really means a lot, man, so that I can do this. And so much appreciated, man. And Raw rating, exactly what I told you, everybody, 1.7. Take a nosedive 2 weeks after the two SummerSlam and Payback shows. Back down to 1.7 million. You're in trouble. And next week, football starts.
Yeah, I mean, they really didn't have much going against them at this point. Now they do. Now you're screwed.
And
what are you going to do?
And this Raw that we just saw the other night was such a bad episode. and was such a reminder of, oh my God, again, they do the same matches again. This is what I call a killer. This was a killer episode, like a murderous episode. This would be like if we put on 5 monetized thises in a row, bad. Like, I've had a bad monetized this, and then I've had a second bad one. I don't ever remember 3 monetized thises being either all bland or all bad in a row. 3. If I had 3 bad monetized thises in a row, I would be very upset. I'd be like, wow, this is dangerous. You know, and we've had a couple, but this has been a killer. Five episodes of Raw and beyond of just these rematches over and over, the same thing. So I don't care how much you hate NXT or hate AEW or whatever you are out there. Thank God it's not Raw. How in the world can you think that Raw is better than anything? Raw is the worst show going right now. SmackDown was decent last Friday, but Raw was just atrocious. And that is, I can't even believe it. It's the worst. Anything else as far as AEW? I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 tonight. By the way, the main event, Brody Lee and Dustin. I thought the main event was a good match, and if they didn't have that match, then there would have been no wrestling that I enjoyed tonight for the most part.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm in line with that. Now, one thing I was really pissed off about personally was Tay Conti and Nyla Rose. She's getting beat up. Why was Sheeta there to defend her? Shouldn't the Dark Order have come out? I mean, they're trying to get her to join the Dark Order, so why would they have Conti not be defended by them if they're trying to, have her join? Really shitty storytelling there. And then also, I have no real interest in seeing Nyla Rose and Sheeta face each other again. I don't know if that's something. I liked their last match, but I'd rather see other feuds. It just doesn't interest me, honestly.
Yeah, I think that Sheeta should remain champion for a little bit here, win a few more matches, see how it goes. I wish that Thunder Rosa was on the AEW roster.
Well, she'll be there next week to compete,
so that's good, or at least that she's allowed to be rented out, or almost be.
She's going to be defending the NWA title, I believe they said.
Oh, well, I would love for her to be in both companies. This is what I'm trying to say.
I think they're going to utilize her continually, it seems.
Good, because Thunder Rosa is the best thing that they have. It's not even really theirs.
And I think I was kind of ticked, too, because, you got that don't miss out on the big Cody announcement, and then it's the Go Big show.
Yeah,
Here we are. We're thinking I'm like, oh, they're going to announce like Blood and Guts is coming back finally. The War Games match we didn't get.
I thought they were about to announce the second TV show. That's what I thought was coming.
That was my second idea. I said
it was the second TV show, but not the one you thought.
Not the wrestling show. I was like, oh, so either we're getting that or we're going to get some TV announcement, but something substantial here. Instead, it's the talent show for the talentless.
It didn't bother me because it's good cross promotion. I understand the business aspect. They didn't put it on the show. They teased you on it. I'm not mad at it. But I understand what you're saying because I think a lot of people were like,
it was just a big disappointing cap to an already not great episode.
They just got to keep up with the Miz, bro. They gotta kick his ass.
Yeah, because that show is a lot of fun. Cannonball.
I thought this show looked good too. I got to be honest. I thought this show looked fun. And when Snoop Dogg and all them were riding in on the go-kart, I'm sure that somebody could make fun of that and say it's garbage. But I don't know why, man. But I was like, that looks kind of exciting. And I could almost smell the outside air and everything. It was weird, dude. They sold me on it a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I might watch an episode of that. It kind of reminds me of those old shows. Even the Miz's show kind of reminds you of the old competition shows that you would watch. I don't really watch the Ninja show, but other shows. And so, I don't know. It didn't bother
Eddie
me.
Gomes in the chat, I thought, asked a great question before. He said, are you afraid that AEW could become a second WCW because of the way they're hiring a lot of ex-WWE stars as, WCW did in the 90s?
Yeah, I mean, the comparisons are clear.
They're really, they're on TNT as well. It's there's a lot of comparisons to be made. But
we haven't seen anything like this since the mid '90s when WCW started taking, and the WWE guys started jumping ship. The difference is, the WWE guys that jumped ship were top dogs who wrestled in front of 5 million people on TV or more, those type of things, sold out gigantic arenas, and WCW purchased guys for like $10 million contracts and $5 million contracts, whereas AEW has only purchased one guy for something like that, and that's Jericho for about $4 or $5 million. So this is that, but on a way smaller scale. And the people that are jumping ship from WWE aren't stars. They're mid-card or lower mid-card talent for the most part, other than Moxley. But even he was sort of staggering in WWE at the time.
Yeah, like it would have been great if they had gotten an Orton or Mysterio.
Right.
They wanted.
And even, like that would even be a level up. Like, or a Brock Lesnar, Undertaker.
Brock Lesnar would be huge, but I mean, allegedly they wanted Goldberg. Tony Khan did to redo the streak.
They would need that's sad too, right? That's kind of sad. But if Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and maybe another guy all decided to leave WWE right now, last year, and gone to AEW, so you get Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and maybe somebody else, and they all start showing up in AEW. Now,
Roman Reigns would be a huge star.
Now you've got WCW. This is people who were just watched by 2 million people, who are now watched by less, jumping ship to a company that has 800,000 viewers. WCW and WWE were trading fucking 3 to 4 to 5 million viewers, and then they started trading fucking 7 and 8. It's not at the same scale, but yeah, it's like that, no doubt about it. And are they a little bit petty and a little bit lost? Maybe. But WWE is so bad that whatever, all that matters is that I'm telling you that AEW is better than Raw as far as what they did. And you can say, well, if they're better than Raw, why is Raw beat them in the ratings? Well, Raw is sinking. AEW is trending up, or at least
they're
sort
staying
of
steady or
steady,
projecting upwards.
Yeah, exactly. They're sort of projecting upwards. When they take a few steps down, they bounce back up, and they float. They're floating on the water there. WWE is slowly leaking and sinking downward. There's a difference, and it matters, and it does matter. Because what if AEW really put on a show that was epic and really signed a couple people that trended with people?
And we know they can put on epic shows.
Yeah.
We've seen them happen time and time again. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They have a chance here. Now, next week, they're running unopposed again because they'll be on Thursday.
Oh.
And NXT will be on Wednesday again.
That's weird. See, and the difference there, though, is that AEW will be on a different night. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they said AEW, they're going to try and aim for Wednesday if they don't need another finals game, but I think as of right now, it's scheduled for Thursday. So
I don't think they'll do 900,000 again because it's on a different night. So they'll probably do 820, 850, or 830 or something like that. But
what do you think they do tonight, though?
Tonight, following All Out, we don't know exactly. We might know actually what the trends are after a pay-per-view for AEW. We should look those up. But I'm assuming it's like WWE, and they have a little bit of a boost after they have a pay-per-view, I would think. So I'd say they do 850 tonight. I think they're going to do 850.
I was going to say 835.
Okay, so they're in the 800s. That's good.
Yeah, that works.
It's their night. Well, they were solo tonight.
Yeah,
but they were.
I think they'll get 835 solo.
They were up against the Tampa Bay Islanders game and a couple other things. Hockey was on. Did the Tampa Bay end up winning? Somebody hit me up with that. Tampa Bay go up 2-0. What's going on? I think it was overtime last time I was watching. But yeah, they got to go up against that. But so what will they do tonight? We got to give our predictions for that. The numbers tonight. So they're solo.
Yeah, so I said 835 tonight.
Ooh, so I think next
the final. When was this game? Yeah, this was from today. So they beat the Islanders 2-1.
Take that. See you later, New York. Okay, so next week they're unopposed, but on a Thursday. Tonight they were unopposed on their normal night, and it was the night after a pay-per-view. All right, I'm going to say that tonight they did 880,000.
Okay.
800, and the Celtics lost. Yeah, you're right. That was ridiculous. Dude, between the Bruins, the Patriots, and the Red Sox, now you're going to kill me, Celtics? You're going to take my life, Celtics? The Bruins the Bruins murdered me. The Red Sox are just stabbing me slowly away as I watch Mookie Betts hit home runs. And the Patriots obviously won't be the same. And now Celtics, you can't even figure it out? Really? Are you trying to murder me? Is this 1995 again? I enjoyed that 20 years of the Boston run, though. It was a lot of fun when we dominated for 20 years. We'll never see it again. Goodbye. Rest in peace to Boston sports. It was a fun 20 years. I enjoyed it. But no, yeah, so I think next week they'll be lower, though. I think next week they'll do 850, and I think tonight they're going to do 880. I'll say 880 tonight, 850 next week. That's my guess. Write it down. What do you want to say about this week and next week?
I say this week they'll get 835. I'm going to stick with that. And next Thursday they'll get 815. Going up against NFL next week, too, on Thursday, right?
Oh, man. Thursday Night Football?
I believe so. So a few people in the chat said that, too. I thought that was right, but the schedule is a little, different with the pandemic, but pretty much the same. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be Thursday, continually.
Shout out to everybody who retweeted my Rusev video I put up. It's doing pretty decent for my crappy new Twitter account since I'm banned forever on Twitter. That's about it, man. I think we hit on everything AEW and then some. And
absolutely.
Yeah. That's it, brother. We're not spoiled anymore, Jazz. It's all over now, dude. It's all over here now. Miro in AEW. We're going to talk to you guys about what you think about that. I'm going to have a poll on Patreon, what you thought about his promo tonight. Did you like it or not? The poll will go up on Patreon soon, and I'll be doing a morning podcast on Patreon as well that will be up for you guys to download. I asked some questions. They're up right now. You guys can still go ask those questions, and I'll have that up as well.
Next week will be a good show, it looks like. Obviously we have the last match, hopefully, between Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz. It's their parking lot brawl. They want revenge for, Trent getting his mom's van destroyed. Then the Revival will take on Jurassic Express. Not a title match. And if they beat FTR, then they'll give them a title shot. And then Thunder Rosa will defend the NWA Women's World title against Ivelisse.
Yes!
And then MJF will be in action as well. His opponent is not yet revealed. And Hangman Page will take on Kazarian.
I bet
him and Frankie will go.
I bet you MJF's going to get Miro, I bet.
And both need a win, so that's a DQ finish if I've smelt one.
Well, maybe MJF versus Miro, DQ, Wardlow gets involved, and then Miro's going to face Wardlow the next week, and then Miro beats Wardlow.
That could be it.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I imagine they're going to have Miro win on his first night, though.
Right. Yeah,
maybe it'll lead up to MJF.
That's a good point.
I bet you that'll be the week after. They'll announce his first match.
You had to search for this? You had to find this? Well, you wouldn't have had to find it and search for it had you been a patron, because if you were a patron, you would have got the alert that Joe Cronin was live on your Patreon app on your phone or on your desktop or your whatever the fuck. You would have gotten the alert that I was live. So become a patron right the fuck now! Or I'm going to have to quit YouTube and go back to doing 2 regular jobs, and I'm going to leave you all behind. So think about becoming a patron. $5, $2, whatever you got, whatever the fuck. Think about doing it. We are in some trouble. No, I'm just kidding. No, but Talk Spooky to me is not in trouble. Talk Spooky to me is kicking ass. Leah and Monica did episode 2. It's up to download right now or listen to. You can play it or you can download it. If you're on a desktop, you right-click on it, save as, you save the file. Or on your phone, it's just an arrow. You click it downloads it to your phone, save your data plan, and thousands of other podcasts that you cannot hear on YouTube that we do on Patreon. 325 of you are patrons. Thank you for that. And below that, though, pinned up there, here it is. Here's the alert that you would have gotten if you were at least even $1 patron. You would have gotten the alert that we were live tonight on YouTube. So, Jay Swiss says MJF is solid. Lots of potential with him. Yes. He's been killing it. Potential. I mean, man, he's been reaching his potential every week, I feel like. And he's got more to go, but he's kicking ass. MJF is kicking ass. Thanks to Jake. Hit him up on Twitter at CountdownEnded. And look at his sexy face. And you can hit me up at JCS Commentary on Twitter, Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show, Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, and all the other links to everything are down below in the description box. Go do whatever you want to do. We'll see you tomorrow night for Thursday night. Out of nowhere.
It's going to be a big night. Lots of news with WWE, what's coming up for their future plans with pay-per-views, different feuds that are in the works, talking about the draft that's coming. A lot of news there, and we'll see what's going on in the world of AEW and elsewhere. So it'll be a big night. Bring the thunder.
Bring the thunder. Will Tactics, you are a patron. Yeah, you should have got the alert.
You're supposed to say bring the lightning.
Jake has lost weight, yeah.
Down 182 pounds.
Yeah, I didn't like his outfit, and I wasn't a big fan of his promo either, the Mr. Gentleman promo.
Right.
Allow me to introduce myself. Are you going to fuck the guy?
Compare Keith Lee's promo to Rusev or Miro's promo. So I think Keith Lee's promo about salutations, Randy Orton, I'd give that a 2 out of 10. I'd give Rusev tonight, I thought it was a 7 out of 10. A little more original would have been more, but I like it. I was pumped up. Better do something though. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back to this promo and be like, you know what, Vince was right. So now you got to bring it. You just set the bar for yourself. Let's see what he can do. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Dildo asses.
Oh, Mike, Leah, come on. How's anybody gonna watch Talk Spooky to Me, episode 2, if you're gonna act like that with that potty mouth?
This smells like my vagina.
Pilots and fucking goddamn Drew killed my Sunday night gaming stream, that piece of shit. I'm gonna kick his ass on Monetize This on Friday night. I'm gonna kick his ass. He took
his
my
never-ending show.
Yeah, he ruined my fucking goddamn every Sunday. I'm fucked now. I created my own competition again.
Beat yourself.
Fuck me.
This smells like my vagina.